I kept going back to those books, and they were like, you need to grow up. You need to quit acting so childish. You need to put away all these fairy tales. They all absolutely adored C.S. Lewis. And I stumbled on this quote, and I'm like, well, if he can do it, if he's in his 50s and 60s and telling all of you guys I should still be allowed childish things, then I could do it. And the older I've gotten, I keep resonating with it.
Welcome back to Relatable Wisdom, the podcast where everyday people share the quotes that have shaped their lives, inviting us all to reflect and grow together. Today we're joined by Amanda Trisdale, a remarkable mother and the CEO of Autistic Wings Dance Company, a non-profit studio created to empower autistic dancers. Amanda's journey alongside her daughter Lita has not only transformed their lives, but also the lives of many young dancers seeking a safe space to express themselves. Let's dive into Amanda's story and discover the wisdom she's gathered along the way. Okay, tell me your name and a little bit about who you are and what you do.
My name's Amanda Trisdale. I am the CEO of a nonprofit dance studio for autistic dancers in Colorado Springs called Autistic Wings Dance Company. And I co-host a podcast called Lita's Tap Styles with my 13-year-old daughter, Lita.
Okay. Will you be kind to share with us your favorite quote?
All right. I made sure I pulled it up because I always botch this quote. It is, when I became a man, I put away childish things, including the fear of childness and the desire to be very grown up, by C.S. Lewis.
Wow. When I became a man, I put away. Wow. What does that? What does wait? What does that mean? I'm confused right now.
If you read the whole quote, he goes into the fact that people, when he was in his 50s, he had written Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe and the entire Chronicles of Narnia series, and people kept calling him childish and asking why he was so in love with fairy tales. And his statement was, as a child, he'd always been told to put away the childish things, that growing up was outgrowing the fairy tales and outgrowing the dreams you had as a child. And once he became a man, he realized that you needed to keep dreaming and to have those fairy tales and to believe in fairy tales.
Yeah. Can you really can you tell me why you feel this quote resonates with you?
So I had this same deal when I was a child. I would read any story that interested me, even if it was for a younger age group. And I was always getting in trouble with the adults telling me I needed to read older books, and that since my reading level was college, that by 10, 11, 12, I needed to be reading college textbooks instead of reading the younger kid books. And I always fought against it. I was like, but those are the stories that interest me. Those are the stories that resonate with me. I really don't feel like reading textbooks my entire life when I'm 11. And I stumbled across the C.S. Lewis quote because all these adults were like, you have to read C.S. Lewis. And I'm like, well, he was reading fairy tales into his 50s and 60s. And if y'all think he's so impressive, why can't I do it?
Why do you think this quote resonates with you deeply?
As a child, I had a much higher reading level than I probably needed to have. And the adults were like, you're 9, 10, 11, you can read college textbooks. You need to quit reading the books for your own age. And I loved the books for my own age. And even into high school and into college, I kept going back to those books. And they were like, you need to grow up. You need to quit acting so childish. You need to put away all these fairy tales. They all absolutely adored C.S. Lewis. And I stumbled on this quote, and I'm like, well, if he can do it, if he's in his 50s and 60s and telling all of you guys I should still be allowed childish things, then I could do it. And the older I've gotten, I keep resonating with it. You know that my daughter started a nonprofit dance studio for autistic kids, and I have dance teachers coming up to me going, why are you still watching these kids shows that these kids are watching? And I'm like, because I'm working with kids. I should still be a little childish if I'm working with kids. And once you stop believing in the fairy tales, once you stop believing that there's a bear in 100-acre woods eating honey with his stuffed pig friend, once you stop believing in lions that take kids through magical wardrobes, you lose a lot of the magic and the innocence of life.
Yeah. What would now I want us to paint a picture, since we're talking about stories and fairy tales and all that. What does it look like when, there are people who, when you see them, like, that they've lost this childishness, they lost touch of their inner child. Permit me to use that word. I'm sounding like a shrink right now. But okay, so what are some of the things?
Well, I mean, especially with the dance teachers, I've noticed that they can't connect with the dancers, and instead of letting them have the cute little costumes that you would expect a kid who's 6, 7, or 8 to have, they've got these kids out there dancing to hardcore hip hop that they probably shouldn't be listening to. In outfits that are way too short, and then they're just all shocked that these kids are acting like many adults. And I'm like, but you took away their childhood. They also seem to be a lot more grumpy when they're not doing the childish things. Of Lita's and my favorite things to do weekly is we've got Santa's workshop just up the road where you can go visit Santa, you can do s'mores, you can go on a train ride, and all these adults are like, why does she want to do that at 13? And I'm like, why not? Who doesn't want to go visit Santa in his village and see his reindeer?
Yeah.
And they're all a lot more stressed because it's hard not having the magic life gives you.
Yeah, yeah, and for when I want to talk about as adults, right? Of course, kids should be kids, and we shouldn't make kids try to be adults. They should be kids, and they should enjoy their childhood. Um, but as adults, right? When most of us, not all of us, but most of us, we remember what it was like when we did not understand what it meant for something to be impossible. Like we couldn't, that concept did not register in our brain. And our approach, the way we looked at life, the way we were free from so many stress and so many struggles and so many things. And as we grew up, we were told to be an adult. That this is how you have to be. This is how, and now we become that thing, and we've lost the happiness, the joy. We've lost it.
Yeah, and you lose the ability. It is the losing the ability and the joy, and even the small things like seeing a butterfly fly by, or we live close to the mountains, and seeing the newborn fawns in the spring when the deer are with their mothers, and it's like you can't just take some joy in this.
Yeah, yeah.
It does help with the stress level too if you're not always stressed out over the adult things and have a little bit of that kiddish wonder still.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The childish wonder, and yeah, most people tell you don't do that. Like when I saw the quote, I was just smiling.
It, I want to get it like printed on a poster and put up on the dance studio wall, and like all the parents who are so stressed out go, hi, just C.S. Lewis right here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, C.S. Lewis is like almost everybody that read a book or a story while they were young happened to read a story or a book from C.S. Lewis, right? C.S. Lewis
Yeah.
is the writer of Alice in Wonderland, right?
No, he's the one from Chronicles of Narnia, Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Lewis Carroll is
Oh,
Alice in
yeah,
Wonderland.
yeah. C.S. Lewis Carroll. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I nearly confused it.
I may have spent a little too much time in the library reading all the cool books.
Yeah, yeah. I just checked it out. Yeah, Lewis Carroll, C.S. Lewis. Yeah.
C.S. Lewis was good friends with J.R.R. Tolkien, who wrote the Lord of the Rings series.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Yeah.
So he had some decent friends that were all making fun of him. And if you think about it, who is Tolkien to make fun of C.S. Lewis reading fairy tales when Tolkien is writing about elves and dwarves and hobbits destroying rings in a Middle Earth?
Yeah, yeah. Pots calling kettle black.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't forget the childishness. And I think the desire to grow up in a way it it ruins us for enjoying being in the moment and enjoying the present moment, because you're like, oh, when I grow up, I'm going to be like this, I'll be like this and be like that, and we forget that the childhood, this moment here right now, we it's a time that once it passes, right? and then you're the adults. There's all these responsibilities and all these things, and that very desire to be grown up, it pulls us out from the present to be in the future, and so we don't experience the present, and the future we never get to it because we're always like, be grown up, be grown up.
Yeah. There's another quote from Kung Fu Panda. Not that my child watches Kung Fu Panda on a regular basis, which I know they took from somewhere else. And for the life of me right now, I can't remember where. Yesterday has passed. The future we cannot go see, but the present is in the moment. And I totally botched that, I'm sure. But I've heard a turtle say it for the last
Oh,
couple decades.
yesterday has passed, the future, something like that. Yeah, I remember. I think it was the
Yeah.
tortoise that said, "Okay, yesterday has passed. The future is a mystery. Today is the present. Today is the present." Something like that.
Yeah. And I think the kids' movies and the kids' books have so much great wisdom in them that we as adults tend to just blow off because it's in a kid's book.
Yeah, Master Ugwe. Yeah. Yeah, yesterday's past, today is the present, tomorrow is a mystery. I think we so much obsess over the mystery that we forget, we stop ourselves from opening the present. And I say, okay, this gift I have, what do I make of it?
Yeah. And I think that's the whole thing about the childhood is I think we've made it where kids want to grow up way too quickly and the parents are like, why? And it's like, because you've made it where those childish things are to be looked down upon as parents. You're not enjoying your kid sitting down and doing art with your kids. It may not be the best art, but when they're not little anymore, you're going to miss those moments.
Yeah, yeah. And everybody, they become adults, quote unquote adults, with family of their own, with responsibilities, with the struggles and everything of life and everything. And you're like, oh, I wish we could just sit down one time and all you
Yeah.
have, it's the memory, and over time it looks as if the memory is escaping you, and you're like, it's no longer there. You're losing touch of it. Ah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How we spend so much time hoping for the future, only to realize that that which we wanted has always been not ours, and we just did not use it. And now that it's gone, we're thinking, I wish, I wish. So we're spending our time wishing in the future, and now that the present is gone, it's now become the past. With the present we're in, we're wishing, oh, I wish. So we're neither living in the present, we're always living in the past or the future, which is no way to live.
I've tried to tell, we've got a lot of little kids at the dance studio and they're cute, they're adorable, they're making mistakes like all little kids do, and their parents. I'm like, just remember this moment because it's moments like this where they're putting on their ballet shoes for their first time or their first time that they're getting that dance move right and that childhood innocence of just being so excited they got it right. Lita's well past that, unfortunately. She's not going to be mastering any new dance moves because she knows them all. She's working semi-professionally now. And I was smart enough to enjoy it when it was happening, but I still miss it even though I have those memories.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for sharing this quote with me and for reminding me that we should stop the fear of childishness and the very desire to be grown up.
Well, thank you for having me on to share it.
Yeah. Where can people learn more about you and what you do?
Probably the best place is litastapstyles.com. That's the podcast. It also has links to the dance studio and the website for that. But the podcast is probably the best. I don't do my social media because I'm keeping up with the studio social media and Lita's social media. She does not do social media. She's like, I'm a child. I have to have it for work. Someone else can do my own social media for me. Obviously, she has been raised to enjoy the childhood.
Yeah.
But that's probably the best place to find us.
Okay. Once again, thank you so much for being an amazing guest on the podcast.
Thanks again for having me, Wisdom. I enjoy it when we get to talk.
Thanks for listening to Relatable Wisdom. If you found something meaningful in this, episode, make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you're listening. If you'd like to support the show, you can do that by buying me a coffee. The link is in the show notes. Every little bit keeps the conversations going. I'm your host, Wisdom Okonkwo, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep growing.